Hey, how's it going guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be checking out how to get the Supreme Sword of Light, which is debatably the best straight sword in Dragon Quest XI. So this is kind of a long one, let's just get into it. The first thing we're going to need, obviously, is the recipe itself, which we can obtain by asking for it as a prize after finishing any of the trials at Trial Isle. We simply need to ask for, I wish I had a very powerful sword. Obviously, by this we can judge that we do need to be in post-game to be able to get the Supreme Sword of Light, because we need access to the trials as well as some other things. Now that we have the recipe, we can check out exactly what materials we're going to need to forge the Supreme Sword of Light. So first of all, we're going to need a regular Sword of Light, a Sword of Kings, Crimsonite, Uber Agate of Evolution, and finally some Spectra Light. So first of all, let's cross off the list the Sword of Light, which is going to be the most time consuming to get. For the Sword of Light, we're going to need three things: the Orichalcum, the Forging Hammer, and the Crucible Key. Let's start off with the Orichalcum. You've most likely already got enough at this stage in the game, but just in case you don't, you can always grab some more from behind the silver door at the battlegrounds. Then as for the Forging Hammer, you simply need to win the Platinum Horse Race in Gallopolis, and you'll be given the Forging Hammer as a reward. Then for the Crucible Key, we need to take some Lumen Essence to Ryo and Miku in the Caldera of Mount Fuji to turn Ryo back into a human. If you don't have any Lumen Essence, you can grab some Lumen Essence from inside the Disciples Trial 2nd place, which is the Eerie area. And you simply want to take a left at the waterfall area, which we can see here on the map, and inside this chest we can find some Lumen Essence. Once we take this back to Ryo and Miku in Mount Fuji, Ryo will turn back into a human, and then we simply want to go and talk to Miko back at Hoto, and she will give us the Crucible Key. So now we have the Crucible Key, the Forging Hammer, and the Orichalcum to forge the Sword of Light. We simply want to go to the same place we forged it the previous time at the top of Mount Fuji. And there we have it, the first and most important ingredient is already made. So next up is the Sword of Kings. This one's going to be a lot more straightforward. All we need to do is go back down to Hoto and talk to this Blacksmith character just outside the General's Goods store, as we can see here on the map. And he will ask us for some more Orichalcum. If you still need some more, you can simply reload your save data and grab the one that we showed you before in the battlegrounds. And once we give it to him, we want to go and wait a few days, do some other stuff, maybe finish collecting the rest of the materials, and once we come back after a little while, the NPC inside of the General's Goods store, just inside where he was standing, will sell us the Sword of Kings for 35,000 gold coins. It's kind of expensive, but we've got to remember he did pay us a pretty hefty price for the Orichalcum in the first place, so it's not actually that expensive. Next up is the Crimsonite. So the easiest way to get Crimsonite is for winning the Black Cup Horse Race. Each time you win, you'll be given some Crimsonite. So to unlock the Black Cup Horse Race, if you haven't already, all you need to do is finish any of the trials at Trial Isle. Simply ask for an amazing horse race at the end of the trial as a prize, and this will unlock the Black Cup Horse Race. By winning this repeatedly, you will be given Crimsonite as many times as you like. Do note that the first time you win the Black Cup Horse Race, you won't actually be given Crimsonite. It's some other unique prize, but after the first time, it will always reward you Crimsonite each time for winning. As for the Uber Agate of Evolution, you can easily steal these from the red giant enemies inside the Luminary Trial. I'm personally doing it just to the right of the final door just before you go into the boss of the Luminary Trial. There's some red giants in there. Simply use the steal command with Eric, and this should get you some Uber Agate of Evolutions. As for the Spectra Light, which is the final of the materials we're going to need, we can buy this from the shop inside Trial Isle just before entering any of the trials. That is everything, so now we can go to our mini forge at any camp and we can forge this weapon. Do note that it's a pretty tough weapon to forge. Its requirements are pretty specific. I got perfect on 2 out of 3, and the third one I didn't quite hit the mark and it still failed. So you're going to have to be pretty decent at forging to be able to get a successful attempt at this, but it will still give you the trophy even if you fail and just get the base form of the weapon. So that is how to get the Supreme Sword of Light in Dragon Quest XI. I hope you did find this video helpful, guys. If you did, don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content coming very soon, and we'll see you next time.